walk through a storm. It is Anfield Agenda time. Craig is set for the day and the news. Sit back and relax, grab a coffee and chill, and enjoy the shenanigans tonight. Anfield Agenda. Anfield Agenda. YNWA. Anfield Agenda. Time for Craig to tell it straight. Watch-alongs to fill your day. Make to subscribe and stay. Up the Reds. Up the Reds. Oh, oh, ooh. Oh, oh, ooh. Oh, oh, ooh. Oh. Anfield Agenda. Anfield Agenda. YNWA. Anfield Agenda. Time for Craig to tell it straight. Watch-alongs to fill your day. Make to subscribe and stay. Up the Reds! Up the Reds! Oh, oh, ooh. Oh, oh, ooh. Oh, oh, ooh. Oh, 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 Anfield Agenda. Anfield Agenda. YNWA. Anfield Agenda.
What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to it a bit earlier than normal Sunday evening's late night agenda. How are we? How are we? I can't speak. How are we? A very interesting game earlier on this afternoon. Congratulations to Arsenal. Thoroughly deserved to win. Very good performance. Put Manchester City to the sword. Did what they had to do. We roll on for another week. So tonight, let's talk about the title race. Let's talk about, I guess, the end of the transfer window and anything else that you guys would like to go through. A bit more of a relaxed stream tonight. Not really going to come in and break any earth-shattering news. I just want to come on and have a chat with everyone. Because I knew there'd be people panicking. I knew there'd be people starting to get a little bit worked up and worried. And I'm here to try to put those fears to rest. So let's get stuck into it, ladies and gentlemen. As always, you know what to do. Drop a like on the stream. Keep your comments coming in and we'll get cracking. Nomad said City are atrocious. They were so bad. Look, I don't want to take credit away from Arsenal because that's a big result for them. And they played really well and they thoroughly deserved their victory. And I'm not here to rain on their parade of their victory today. I do agree with you. You know, City are terrible, but I'd be a liar if I said to you that I'm not enjoying every single moment of Manchester City's demise. It's beautiful. Obviously, I wanted City to get a result against Arsenal today, but you know my thoughts on Manchester City as a club. You know my thoughts in the way that they're being run. So their demise is something that I'm very much enjoying every second of. The fact that Arsenal won today, you know what? They deserve their credit, and I'm not here. Well, I am here to rain on the parade a little bit because they're getting a bit ahead of themselves. What was that, Craig? They're getting a bit ahead of themselves, says the man who just said Arsenal confirmed runners-up, because that's what's going to happen. They aren't going to win the league. You don't need to be scared. You don't need to start letting the pressure get to you. We're top of the table for a reason. And yes, this game against Everton's going to be a big one. But again, it happens all the time. We've gone through another weekend. Arsenal haven't gained any ground on us. And we've done our part. So I don't understand the fear from people. Look, Arsenal won today. Fair play to them, as I mentioned. Good result, good victory. Lewis Skelly, one hell of a young footballer. Love the attitude he goes out there and plays with. Love the arrogance, and I mean that in a complimentary way, that he takes to the pitch with. And they deserve credit, but they're not winning the league. They're just not going to. So I guess I want to come on here tonight and just try to calm some of those fears, because it's easy for us fans to get carried away one way or the other, right? It is. But again, it's another weekend gone by. They haven't closed the gap. We're a week closer to the end of the season. And I think people are just getting a bit carried away because they're buying into the media and Arsenal fan hype jobs. Just calm down. It's all good. It would have been great for us, of course. But one thing I think is really key here, right? Lots of the media, including Carragher and some others, said if they had have drawn that game today, everybody would have been saying the league's over. They will draw another game. It's just going to be a matter of, will we draw before they draw? Because there's going to be more points dropped in this title race on all sides of it. But Liverpool are going to end up coming out on top and winning it. And it's going to be suck. It's going to suck for Arsenal. It's going to sting like hell for their fans. But it's no more than they deserve for the nonsense they've come out with. This one COVID title, one PGO Mail title nonsense needs to be put to bed. And Arsenal are going to get what they deserve. A lesson in humility. A lesson on entitlement, and they're going to get to watch Liverpool win the Premier League title, and they should learn from that. And if anybody thinks otherwise, let's chat about it. Let's have it, because I'm not in any way going to start getting nervy when nothing's changing. We're doing our job. We won our game. Arsenal won their game, and that's the long and short of it. It's 3 points for both of us. Gap not closed. We move on. Arsenal game at Anfield. This isn't a smart arse answer, Jennifer. I honestly feel like the league will be wrapped up by then. Arsenal are one more points dropping away from their heads going, and they're struggling to stay in touch with us now. And a lot of it will come down to what happens in the game against Everton. And by a lot of it, I mean a lot of their confidence or lack of. So yeah, we got to go make sure that we get that result. But we don't play in the league now for, a week and a bit. You know, we've got the game coming up against Spurs on Thursday in the League Cup. Then we've got the FA Cup game against Plymouth. Then we take on, who's it we take on next in the league? Sorry, Everton away at Goodison. The last game. It's going to be an emotional night. It's going to be a difficult game. But look, I love this shit. This is what we live for as fans. We want to be in this position. And everybody that's worrying about Arsenal, just ask yourself one thing. Whose shoes would you rather be in right now? If you're a football fan, would you rather be in Liverpool shoes or in Arsenal shoes? Because we know what it feels like when the pressure's on and you're chasing. We know what it feels like when you haven't won a league title in a very long time. And the pressure mounts every single week. And Arsenal are going to feel that pressure. And Arsenal have showed time after time that they're not capable of dealing with that pressure. So let's see how it all pans out. Because they will have another wobble. They will drop more points. And yeah, so will we. But we've got a nice little cushion. So I don't get the fear. Arsenal are not prime Barcelona. They are not prime Manchester City. They're not even prime Liverpool. They're a team this season that feel entitled to win a league title. And the media are doing their best to try and keep it all alive and ticking. But ask yourself this question right now. If Man City were in our position at the top of the league, do you think that there would be so much talk of a title race? No. There wouldn't be. Just people want to try and get into Liverpool's heads, and we can't let them. As fans, we can't let them. Arsenal fans are entitled to talk about whatever they want and be as optimistic as they want, but that doesn't mean we have to buy into it. And here's a good example. Lewis Steele, journalist, writes this. All the Arsenal fans gloating and stay humble stuff works if you're 10 points clear or something. Not if you're 6 behind, haven't played a game more, and haven't won a title for 2 decades. And that's where I'm at. They don't deserve the fear that some people are giving them. I don't think so anyway. You're not Man City though, so of course it's different. Granted. But to answer your question, in what way have we shown any ability to throw this out the window this season? Because we can't deal in the past. We can't talk about last year. You can't talk about last year. This season, at what point have we shown that we're going to fall apart? We've pretty much got a full squad now. Trent could be out for a few weeks. We're not sure on that. We're playing week in and week out and grinding out wins. I don't understand how anybody's nervous about this. I just don't. I'm very upbeat about it and I'm very optimistic about it. And I'd much rather be in our position than anybody else's right now. But again, people are entitled to look at it as much as they want. Liverpool getting scares and it really shows. Well, one, I don't even know how to read that comment because you can't even spell Liverpool. Two, I'm not nervous. Do the players look nervous? Everybody was praying we lost yesterday against Bournemouth, and we didn't, and we won, and the tears were beautiful. Today Arsenal won a game, and all it done was mean that they moved back to within 6 points of us with a game in hand. It didn't close any gap. It did absolutely nothing other than give them a very good result. Like I said at the start, great win. And there's something psychological about beating a Manchester City team that Arsenal had only beaten, I think, once in 18 before. So in that regard, yes, that will be a turning point for them to know we can deal with this in the big games. We can win these big games. But they've left too much for themselves to do. And that'll be borne out over the remainder of the season. Whether you want to think differently or not, that's fine. Everybody has their own choice to come into this with whatever mindset they'd like. My mindset is, I know what I'm looking at. I know our manager. I know we're going in the right direction. I know we're not going to have an injury fall off because everybody's fit and available. And we're going to win this league title. It's as simple as that for me. But again, as I said, each to their own. David said, City was awful and Arsenal won parking the bus. Look, I thought the game was horrendous for the first 45 minutes on both sides. Horrible game of football. And then the second half, the game caught life a little bit. And once Arsenal went ahead, they played brilliantly. When Arsenal, well, I know they were ahead in the first half, sorry. Once Arsenal got the second and then the third, they played brilliantly and they absolutely deserve credit for that performance. Declan Rice was brilliant. Lewis Skelly is an incredible young footballer. And Arsenal have a bright future ahead of them. I'm not trying to debate any of that stuff, but they're not going to win the league this year. And that's the point I'm trying to make. If we beat Everton, I think we'll win the league, said Charlie. Look, I look at the maths of these scenarios and I look at the likely outcomes. And does anybody feel that Arsenal's next 4 or 5 league games don't have the potential to drop points in them? Ours do as well, by the way. I'm not trying to say we're going to go invincible here. But we've played more than half of the league campaign. And there's no signs of us falling away. We've lost 1 game in the league all season. I don't understand the fear. Embrace it. Enjoy it. Alex said, can you not just say it was a good win? Have you listened to anything I've said, Alex? Like, literally started the stream, gave a huge well done to Arsenal, spoke about Lewis Skelly, spoke about the psychological impact of an Arsenal win. What else do you want me to do? You know, I'm not here to big up Arsenal, mate. This is a Liverpool channel. I couldn't give a fuck about Arsenal. And I've given them credit for a very good victory. But what else do you want me to do? Be a pussy? And just say, oh, well, Arsenal are winning it now. Let's all just give up. Nah, that's not the way I'm built, mate. I'm all for Arsenal fans gloating, but the players and Arteta are embarrassing. We're winning the title. Lads, they played humble at the end of the game like a tin pot cringy ass club. When they're not robbing songs as a fan base and talking about COVID titles, Arsenal will be shown by me the same respect them and their fans have shown us. Fucking none. And I'm going to enjoy every minute of Arsenal tears when we win the league, because they deserve it. Imagine playing Kendrick Lamar's Humble at the end of a game. That is the most cringy bullshit I've ever seen in my life. And if anybody thinks differently, I don't know what to say. It's awful. Won a game of football and they're high-fiving, hugging each other, going around there, Saka running down from the stands to celebrate, and all it did was just give them 3 points. It hasn't changed a damn thing in the title race. It's fucking weird. Jacko said, 10th of May, the day Arsenal comes to Anfield is the day we'll win the Premier League title, the closest they'll be to the title this season. Look, it's fun. It's still ongoing. But again, I don't understand. Arsenal, by the way, if you're an Arsenal fan, you're tuning in and you're watching here, I get it. I get it. You be you. My issue tonight is with Liverpool fans just chucking the towel in like I've seen them do so many times this season in games. And if you haven't learned your lessons from that, I don't know what else to say to you. Because Nothing about this group of players to me, under Arna, is going to bottle. Nothing. But again, it's up to you how you look at it. You can be negative if you'd like. I'm going to be optimistic and positive because we've got the muscle memory of doing it. We've got a manager that's come in with some new ideas. We've stormed to the top of the league. We've lost one game in it. We've lost one game in the Champions League, which was a dead rubber that we would have won if we needed to win it. We're in the semi-final second leg of a League Cup. We're still in the FA Cup. What is the fear about, lads? I don't get it. Just embrace the fact we're top of the league and enjoy it. Is there a clip of Kirk saying he isn't coming, or was it the Trent thing? There's a clip of him saying he isn't coming. I've watched it. It's been translated. I've double-checked that translation with somebody who speaks Hungarian. And it is a clip of him saying... Now, what we don't know about that one is if he's talking about it being a January thing or ever. Because, you know, I can't give you the answer to that either. I don't know. But, yeah, that's, you know, being honest about it, that's all I can say. I don't know if it's an ever thing or just a January thing. I don't know. David Massett. It's in our hands, and I hope Arsenal come to Anfield may give us a guard of honour. Yeah. Again, what are we now? 23 games into the season, something like that. 23 games in, 22, 23, and nothing's changed. Again, enjoy it, because it's going to be an interesting next month or so. Both teams have some tricky fixtures, and let's see what happens. You know, let me just ask you another question though. Let me just put this one to, and this is aimed at Liverpool fans, by the way. So bear with me one sec. Right, quick question, and this one is aimed at Liverpool fans, but feel free to answer it however. If we beat Everton, do you think we win the league? Because Carragher said he thinks we do, excuse me. A few people in the chat said the same, so I just thought I'd put it to you guys and see what you think. Is that a turning point for you guys? If you beat Everton, if we get that 9-point gap there, let's say, do you think we win the league then? Oh, and by the way, let's all, and I hope Arsenal fans can join me in this, because welcome in, I'm sure there's some of you watching. Can we all just enjoy United for a second? All of us, together, in unison, as football fans. Can we enjoy the meltdown? Another defeat, at home, in the Ruben Amorim, you know, the next Sir Alex coming into the club, Rashford going out on loan to Villa by the looks of it. It's absolutely hilarious watching it. And I'm here for every minute of it as well, because how do you go and lose 2-0 then at home again and just play absolutely horrendously and have Kobe Mainu as a false 9? Oh, that's priceless. I hope for a minute we can all come together and enjoy that, because, you know, Arsenal fans, I know you dislike them as much as I do. Come on now. What are your thoughts about Amorim? Look, it's too early to say long term if he cuts it at United or not. You know, it would be unfair of me to say one way or the other. I think every manager deserves, you know, 2-3 solid transfer windows, put their own stamp on a team and see where you go from there. And he's no mug, Ruben Amorim, like, but I just wonder when I look at his situation at United, did he maybe underestimate the job that he was taking on, or how far away United have fallen? Because he's got them well. I think they finished third in the Europa League, if I'm not mistaken, in the league format, which is, you know, much better from when he took them over. But they've lost 6 games, I think, at Old Trafford in the league this season. That's shocking. That is absolutely shocking. So let's talk about Mohamed Salah for a reason, and why he's better than Thierry Henry. Let's go. So, Mohamed Salah's numbers, right? We're trying to decide on whether Mo gets a new contract at the club right now. Liverpool are looking it over. Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, FSG, everybody's trying to figure it all out. So let's have a look at his numbers over the years, and this comes from an Athletic article that goes through his goals and assists per 90 minutes throughout his time at Liverpool Football Club, and I thought it would make for an interesting conversation. So Mohamed Salah in 2017-2018 played a total of 2,907 minutes, had 32 goals and 10 assists, averaged a goal pretty much every game, 0.99 goals per game with a 0.3 assists. In 18-19, 22 goals, 8 assists, averaging a goal of 0.6 every game and 0.22 assists. 19-20, 0.59 goals per game, 0.31 assists, scoring 19, assisting 10. 2021, 22 goals, 5 assists, 0.64 per game, goals, 0.15 assists. 21-22, 23 goals, 13 assists, 0.75 goals per game, almost half an assist a game, 0.42. 22-23, 19 goals, 12 assists, 0.52 per game, so not a great goal average that season for Mo compared to other seasons. The interesting ones, though, I think is this season. 23-24 was 18 goals, 10 assists, 0.64 goals per game, 0.36 assists. But this season, in the season where we're debating about the man's future and debating about whether he'll be able to last the pace for years to come, he's almost at a goal a game again. It's 0.93, and he's having his best ever return per 90 minutes with regards to assists as well, with 0.58, so 0.6 assists a game. And this is the season where we're debating whether he's going to stay on or not, or whether his legs are going or not. And his numbers are just phenomenal. I don't understand what's taken our club so long to figure out that this man is still capable of delivering it at the top tier. 0.93, almost a goal a game. That is ridiculous. And as I said, his highest ever assist rate as well, 0.58 per game so far this season. It's just top notch. Top notch for Mo, and they need to get it sorted. Harry said, "Hey, I'm sorry I don't know your name." That's alright, Harry, my man. My name's Craig. Lovely to meet you, bro. Said, "I'm sorry I don't know your name, but I hope you're doing well." Same with you, sir. Thank you. If you beat Spurs on Thursday, you'll play a fixture midweek before City away. Would you rather lose that and the week before and have City free? Yeah, I mean, I guess one of the tough things, Harry, about going deep in a lot of competitions is the congestion, as you said, of fixtures, mate. And no, I want us to win the League Cup because it's a trophy. And I want Arne to do what he can in his first season. Now, we've got a job at hand. You know, we've got to overturn a 1-goal deficit against Spurs. And, you know, I'm upbeat on that one. No, I just can't say I don't want us to win a game. So I'd say, yeah, I'll take it. And look, it's going to be a difficult task at the Emirates, or excuse me, at the Etihad, one way or the other. And in my head, I'm going into that game thinking a point isn't the end of the world. I fully expect Liverpool to drop some points, by the way, between now and the end of the season. I'm not delusional. But I think, again, Arsenal will as well. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to make tonight, is there's been no evidence this season of Arsenal going a month without dropping points. None. So I don't understand why all of a sudden, when they've got some injury crises, they think they're going to get better. They're not. We're the only team potentially on for 100 points. Now, we're not going to get 100 points, but we're the only team that's on for it. Arsenal fans are talking about 90 points. I don't think they'll get 90 points. So for me, you're always nervous, Harry. Like, you've made a fair point. You play midweek before a game, but it is what it is. Villa are unpredictable, so you don't know what Villa are going to show up. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. It is the Villa game that's going to be moved, isn't it? If my memory's right, it's the Villa game that'll be moved to the 7:30 midweek game before the game against Manchester City. It depends, I guess, as well, how seriously Manchester City are taking the league at that point. Because, you know, if I'm Pep Guardiola right now, you want to secure top 4. I think they will. But you also want to make sure that you focus on something that you can win. And he'll look at the Champions League now with the new signings that he brought in. Think if you can bet in Marmoush and a few others and focus on that game coming up against Real Madrid, which is going to be a really difficult couple of games for Manchester City. And I can't remember how their fixtures run out, Harry, but I think it's in and around the same time as well. So City will have an eye on stuff that week as well, coming up to our game at the Etihad. Derek said, "Hey Craig, great to hear from you again. Sometimes I'm jealous of you as my mother loves your commentary." Thank you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your mum enjoying the commentary as well, my man. Thank you. They have less harder away games than us. But see, this is the thing, right? We look at the fixtures and we think, ooh, difficult games. But it's often stupid games that teams are dropping points in. So for Arsenal, 2-0 up against Villa, dropping points. Then they go against Brighton, dropping points. Liverpool beaten at home by Nottingham Forest. And nobody was going to predict that at the start of the season. So, you know, these are just theories looking at the fixtures and thinking this should be a hard game, this should be this should be that. But it's the Premier League and points can be dropped anywhere. So I don't really mind the fixtures. I just look at the points that are on the board and we've put them on the board. Craig, we did well to miss out on Marmoush. I don't know. I think he's still a very good footballer. Look, that man... Look, I'm going to say something, and again, I don't mean to undermine Arsenal, because they did their job today and did it very well and dispatched Manchester City ruthlessly. But Manchester City are shite. They've no confidence in the team. They've no legs in midfield. And again, I don't say this to belittle Arsenal. Fair play on the win. I'm just focusing on City here for a second. They're awful. And look, Arsenal did the right thing. They smelled blood and they went for it. And they got their rewards, a thorough, convincing 5-1 victory. But my God, lads, that Manchester City team, how have they let it get to that point? One player, like one serious missing player, and everything falls to shit. And they look old, they look leggy, they look out of ideas. Phil Foden looked like a shadow of himself out there. I couldn't even believe what I was looking at. Passing balls that weren't on. Heavy touches that were getting picked up on. They're just so bad. And again, Arsenal did their job, beat what was in front of them. Fair play. You know, if we'd beaten them today in the same way Arsenal did, I'd honestly be saying the same thing. They're just so bad at the minute, Manchester City, and it's mental for me. I don't know what Haaland must be thinking at the minute, as an example about that 9.5-year contract he signed. David Smith said, talk shy prior to kick-off. Called Amarim playing Kobe Manu as a false nine genius. Look, at least Kobe Manu's getting a chance to play in a load of different positions, and I guess just, you know, increases football education. And Kobe Manu's a fine footballer. Everybody can see that. But yeah, for the money United have spent, it just goes to show you how well Arsenal have spent money, how well Liverpool have spent money. Chelsea, I guess you could argue, have spent money well. But Manchester United have literally just pissed and burnt so much cash. It's embarrassing. And it looks as if Tell has just turned them down as well, according to, I think, Plettenberg, who said that Tell has decided no to the move to Manchester United when they thought that one was on. Now, I don't know if this gives Arsenal fans a bit of confidence. Maybe he goes there. I don't know. I'm not really fully keeping an eye on the situation because, you know, I know Liverpool aren't bringing in a forward, so... And by the way, let's talk about Lewis Skelly for a second. Arsenal have a habit of overhyping young players. And I've called it out over the years. But they've every right to talk about Lewis Skelly in that way. Because he's the real deal. He is. He's the real deal. And fair play to the kid. And fair play to Arsenal for bringing him through. And fair play to Arsenal fans for embracing him. He is a really good player. And he looked the business out there tonight against City. Drove at the heart of their defence for his goal. Took it well. The celebration was top notch. And he's a real baller. Proper player. That Arsenal should enjoy watching and seeing play in their shirt for the next few seasons. Good example. I love seeing this in football. Honestly, I'd love it more at our club, of course. But seeing young players like that come through and just take to the pitch like they own it. It's glorious. And I enjoyed it when Trent was coming through, when Gerrard was coming through, Michael Owen, Robbie Fowler, same. And I'm sure Arsenal fans will enjoy it. He's a quality young player. Right. Harry, wow. Harry, thank you, thank you, mate. That's very kind of you, bro. Really appreciate that super chat, mate, and your other one as well. Thank you. Yes, City play in Madrid that midweek. I'm a Man United fan, and I'm telling you now, we will beat them. We are inconsistent, but playing on the counter will suit us. I also think we'll beat City. Side note, congratulations for the Six Nations win. Thank you. I actually did get to watch the second half of it. I thought England showed great courage at the end of the game as well to come pick up a couple of late tries to get that bonus point, losing bonus point. And I thought it was, a very good second. I didn't see the first half. I think England deservedly, 10-5 up at half time. But yeah, Ireland really did play well second half. The intensity level was up. I think the bench made a huge difference for Ireland as well. But yeah, appreciate you, Harry, man. Welcome in. Lovely to have you in, bro. And how are you feeling? You don't need to super chat the answer to this, by the way, mate. But how are you feeling about United under Amram? Are you feeling positive about the future, or are you still unsure? I think if you can get the signings right with Amram, you could be all right there. But there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't look right at the minute there. And, it's too early to say if it's the coach or it's just not having the right type of players. But again, thank you, Harry. Appreciate you, mate. Lewis Skelly and Wanyeri are going to be top class. I heard about Wanyeri a couple of years ago as an unbelievable talent coming through, and I think he's also the real deal. Yeah, he's a good player, absolutely. And look, it's very good as well. I'm not sure if both of those are English nationals or internationals, but if they are, great for the English national team as well moving forward. I mean, great young players coming through. And for a player like Lewis Skelly there tonight, or this evening, to go into that game as well and play like that, that's when you know. You know. As I think Carragher said it in commentary about Rooney and stuff as well. That's when you know. And he showed up tonight and he played really, really well. Bournemouth away is a harder game than City at home at present, in my opinion. Also, it's all a positive week for us, said Cop09. Look, I think we all had a collective sigh of relief when we beat Bournemouth yesterday, because I'm not going to sit here and say that couldn't have been a drawn game very easily. It could have. Cliver takes that chance. Who knows where that game goes. But we did get the job done. We did find the second goal and we did win it. Somehow kept a clean sheet, and I'll never understand how we kept a clean sheet yesterday, because between Alisson's heroics and the crossbar and post helping us out, felt like one of those. But that even makes me feel more confident that we're going to win the league, because sometimes you need a little bit of luck going in your favour in moments, and we've been getting that. So, coupled with the fact that we look healthy as a squad right now, we've got young players coming back in like Bradley, who again shown what he's capable of. I just think we look like the best team in the league. And when I look at Arsenal and that game today against Man City, it felt like it was a game of chess. Football by numbers almost at times, and very rigid tactical movements with not real high intensity or much pressing, lots of space being given up. I thought it was interesting, but I thought Arsenal again looked far better when the reins were off a little bit and they played with that swagger and fluidity. And I think that needs to be something that Arteta gets into his mind, because Arsenal have the ability, because of the way they play and set up, to drop super points and draws. But if they can add in what they did today to their game in seasons going forward, they will be right there to win a league title. Just won't be this year. Don't slip, Craig. We won't. Don't worry, mate. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. I'm enjoying it, because I didn't expect us to be in this position. I didn't expect Liverpool to be anywhere near the top of the league at the start of the season. I was thinking, get us Champions League football, probably third. Let's see if we can go deep in Europe and, hope for the best. So right now, we're playing with house money. And one thing that I don't know how to... I don't know how to explain this as well as I could, so I'm going to just give it a go anyway. Do you remember what it was like for us when we hadn't won that league title? Do you remember the weight of expectation and the pressure and the pain on our shoulders as fans and as a club when we hadn't won that league title? Do you remember what it felt like missing out to Manchester City and having your heart broken with a company goal, and last day of the season games that they go behind and then go and win, and the Villa game and all these other things? That's how Arsenal feel. And that's how their fans are feeling. And while they're chasing and it looks like they're a bit behind, you've almost got a free hit. But when the weight of expectation grows, and if they do get a bit closer, you've seen it before, and I'll say it again, it will get to them. It will get to them. And the fact that they haven't won much under Arteta since he's come in, or a league title in 2 decades, that's going to be its own pressure. And to get over that line and deliver it, I think it's going to take Arsenal to have a season like we did when we won it, where they fly out of the traps and they go out there and they're 8-10 points up early doors in the season. And then I think Arsenal might win their league title. So I do think there's a league title in Arsenal's future, just not this year. The Villa fan, how are you, mate? Said, hi Craig, hope you're well. As a Villa fan, what are your thoughts on us signing Rashford and Asensio? I'm kind of laughing about Asensio because, God almighty, how often has he been linked with a move to us or Arsenal or anybody else in the Premier League? He seemed to have been linked for years. Unless I'm thinking of a different Asensio. Sorry. But the Rashford one is really interesting because that could be genius. If he goes to Villa with a point to prove and a chip on his shoulder, look, nobody's going to say Marcus Rashford is not a good footballer on his day. We've seen it. But he just doesn't have enough of them. But a hungry, bitter, angry, that can be... A wounded animal is dangerous. So I think Villa could get the best of Rashford in this season, especially if he thinks he's playing for his future as well. So yeah, on that one, interesting. Moving on, Duran, I felt was very strange business though. I know there's PSR, stuff like that, and I know it was a lot of money. But he looked good. Like, he looked very good. And now if you've got an injury, you're looking at not really like for likes. You're looking at maybe shoehorning somebody else in, or bringing in somebody like Daniel Malin, who's like a 9.5 nearly. Rashford could play on the left. Ramsey could play on the right wing now. It's good attack with Rodgers and Watkins. By the way, Rodgers, wow. Morgan Rodgers, what a player he's looking. Every time I watch Villa, he's the one that stands out and impresses me. Right, so we've left this poll up. We've had 1,100 and something votes. 84% of Liverpool fans, or at least people that voted, feel like if we beat Everton, we will go on to win the league. So let me pose a question. I'm not going to put it as a poll question. I'm just going to ask it straight out. If Liverpool don't pick up a serious injury to the spine of the team, so to a Virgil, a Mohamed, an Alisson, and even at Alisson, we know what Kelleher can do. So if Liverpool don't pick up serious injuries, how do you feel about the title race then? And I guess I'm asking everybody this. Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans. If we don't get any injuries, serious injuries, between now and the end of the season, do you think it's done? Because I do. Because I think the spine of our team is brilliant. And I honestly, I think that's what it will take for Arsenal or anybody else to catch us. Alejandro said a 9-point gap will be too much for Arsenal to overcome. I think so. Because that would involve us having to lose 3 games and Arsenal win all of those. And we've lost 1 game in the first 22 games of the season in the league. Now, we've drawn some, of course, and draws will come into it as well. Phil Keeley said, in the bag for Copboy. If we don't lose Verge, Grav or Mo, then yes, it's ours, said Squeaky Clean. We still win it, said Eddie Hutchinson. Well played, Eddie. I mean, Trent just got injured, didn't he? Yeah, but I don't look at Trent as being part of the spine of that team this season, if that makes sense to you. It's why I'm a little bit more relaxed about the idea of Trent going to Madrid even. I think when I talk spine of our team, I mean goalkeeper, centre-back, midfield, striker. Straight away up the middle. Like your Allisons, I guess we say Mo when we talk striker, fair enough, because he's the standard bearer for goals. But Gravenberch, centre of the park, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and then you've got Jones in there, and then Elliott trying to prove a point. I just think we've got too much. I want the league wrapped up early and then go for the Champions League, said David Massett. I'm scared, Craig. It's because we're already in a position so many times. Remember last season? Yeah, of course. But something feels different to me this season. Arne feels different. I just trust them. I trust them to get this done and get it over the line. What's this one? One sec, just opening up something here. Right, so Craig Houlden is going to join Portsmouth on loan for the rest of the season, just coming from James Pearce. So there, thank you, Mark, for that one. So yeah, Craig Houlden going to go on loan to Portsmouth for the remainder of the season. Obviously, the loan didn't work out for him at Norwich, so going to go to Portsmouth. Isaiah James, how are you, sir? Craig, what are your thoughts on Andrija Maximovic's agent coming out and saying we're trying to sign him? I'm going to be speaking about that in a news video that I'm putting out later on. It looks interesting, and it looks like, you're right, there's some serious clamour around this kid. Real quick, let me just open up my stream notes a little bit here. 1 second. Yeah, so we're one of 5 clubs that are looking at this kid, I believe, or one of 5 serious clubs. The Serbian Messi. I think his agent came out and said, I've also read the story about Liverpool. I won't mention names, but there are 6 or 7 clubs interested. We have a price of 20 million euros. The clubs are ready to pay a fixed amount with bonuses. We'll think about it and see. Again, let's wait and see. You know, when I see Liverpool linked to young up-and-coming players like that, you always take them a bit more seriously because, you know, that's the type of business Michael Edwards loves. So, yeah, let's wait and see. I don't know much about the kid, to be honest, so I'm not going to say if he's good enough or not, but certainly it's in the ballpark of the sweet spot for us price-wise. Sugar Saint said, wouldn't mind going out of the League Cup. Why? You're basically saying you don't want to play a final because that's all that's left now. We have to play on Thursday no matter what, so that's not going to change. And then you're basically saying I don't want to play a final in Wembley. 1 game for a trophy. Why? You know, we're semi-final second leg time. It doesn't make any sense to me that you're saying I'd rather go out than play a once-off game final in Wembley. That just strikes me as weird. I want Liverpool to win everything, every single trophy that they can get their hands on. And that's a chance to get one in early doors for Arne. So, yeah, I very much want us to win it. Especially with 1 game. You basically said, I just don't want to play 1 game. Now, if you had said to me, I want us to go over the FA Cup, fair enough. You know, there's an argument there you could make. But not the League Cup now, not at the stage we're at. I want to talk about Michael Owen for a second. Because normally, when I bring up Michael Owen, I'm here to have a little pop at him usually. But not today. Today I'm agreeing with him. So Michael Owen said that he stayed up to watch Match of the Day, anticipating a shocking decision to award Gakpo a penalty, wrote the former Red. It's an absolute certain penalty. What chance have officials got if half the population think that's not a penalty? And he's absolutely spot on. The fact that was even a fucking debate is embarrassing in the media's perspective. So they showed 3-4 replays of it, right? And on the last replay, they show the one that shows it was a blatant foul. You don't need the other 3 replays. Show the one that shows the contact and it's not a debate. It's so weird. Like, the pundits that I've seen talk about this are absolutely talking out their arse and showing a serious dislike of Liverpool. It's bullshit. It's a penalty every day of the week in any league all around the world because it's a foul. And it's a foul inside the penalty area, therefore it's a pen. I didn't write the rules, you didn't write the rules, but a foul's a foul. It doesn't have to be a 2-footed kick to the head for it to be a penalty. It just has to be a foul. And why show all the replays of the angles that you don't see it clearly when there's one that shows very clearly he fouled him. He clipped his ankle. It's so straightforward. I don't get it. It's just poor journalism and poor punditry. Two quad attempts that won a cup twice, rather miss. Again, fair, you're your own man, but I don't know how you're trying to compare other seasons with not wanting to go to one cup final. If you don't want to win a trophy, mate, that's up to you. Fine, no problem, but it's weird. Let me just say, I find it very weird. And again, trying to compare it to two quad attempts. We still won trophies in those seasons. Granted, they weren't the ones we wanted, but I don't know, man. I'd rather give up the FA Cup at this point and, you know, put the kids out against Plymouth and rest up if you want to throw one competition, not the one we're one game away from a final. A game we have to play anyway. Harry, how are you, mate? Said, any news on Pep's next job? Is a Liverpool return possible? Oh, you mean Linder's next job? Sorry, I was thinking you were talking about Guardiola getting the sack. I have a real question about Pep Linders and will he ever be a number one? Because I know people find a natural pathway through to, you know, coach, blah blah, youth team coach, reserve team coach, blah blah, all the way up. Linders just doesn't strike me as the guy. He strikes me as a brilliant number two for a Jurgen or somebody like that who's willing to let him do the stuff on the training ground, but I just don't think he has the gravitas to become a top coach. And nothing that I've seen of him ever made me feel he does. He's got all the tactical know-how and all the technical knowledge, and he's a very good footballing mind. But I don't ever see Linders making it as a top coach. As a head coach, I think an assistant like with Jurgen, brilliant. I just don't think he's that guy. It was like the guy, what was his name? That was Steve Clark. I thought Steve Clark was another good example of that as he was coming through until he got the Scottish national team job. I thought he was a great number two. You know, when he was coming through with Chelsea, when he was with us, great number two. But never really struck me as the type of guy who was going to be a world beater head coach. And no Bournemouth player protested they knew it was a penalty. So look, I'll be honest, in real time I didn't see it at all. You know, I thought we were getting a corner out of that. And then I seen the referee point and I thought initially, does that take a double ricochet? Is he pointing for a goal kick? And then it kind of clicked. I was like, oh my God, he's giving a penalty. But as soon as I seen the replay, I thought, wow, well done referee. Good spot. Kelsey said, honestly, the fact they think they're going to win something is crazy. They beat Man City like everybody else this season. Now they think they're going to win. Just kids like Arteta. They may win something. You know, they're in the Champions League. You know, they've done very well to get into the top 8 there to avoid the playoff round. They may, you know, it's a big task. And it'll be interesting to see how strong Arteta goes up at St. James's Park on Wednesday. Because if they can turn that around, that's a potential trophy. You know, you've a one-off final against us or Spurs awaiting. FA Cup, don't remember who Arsenal drew. United knocked them out, actually, didn't they? Sorry. United knocked them out, didn't they? Have I remembered that correctly? So, yeah, maybe they win something this season, but it won't be the Premier League. It was Arsenal, wasn't it? That United knocked out of the Cup. Keith said, yes, Alex, again, TalkSport doesn't like us. I don't listen to TalkSport. I don't, how do I put this right? I don't subject myself to TalkSport. It's probably a fairer reflection of it. Because every time I've heard a clip from it, it just sounds like absolute lowest common denominator bullshit. Just rile people up and let the most stupid people with stupid takes say stupid shit. and see how people react to it. So yeah, I don't listen to it, never will, never pay any heed to it. It's, just look at the people they employ. I think that tells you more than enough. Why are Liverpool playing Thursday? Both semi-finals should be the same day. It is a bit weird, Jennifer, and I was thinking about this, right? So Arsenal played Sunday and now have to play Wednesday. So they have a 3-day turnaround. We played Saturday and then played Thursday, giving us, 5 days? It does feel a little bit shitty that those two are Wednesday, Thursday. Surely you could have made our game the Tuesday. Spurs played on Sunday. I don't know. It just feels a bit weird. You're right. I thought that myself when I looked at the fact that we're Thursday. Thanks, Craig, for reading out my normal regular chat. I'm not in a position to post super chats. Mate, I always try my best to get into the chat and catch up with as many people as I can. Obviously, I've got to prioritise if somebody sends a super chat or a membership message. I've got to make sure I don't miss out on them. But I always try, my man. I appreciate you coming in, and there's no entitlement for me. I don't expect people to send super chats around. I just appreciate your time. Whose name said Spurs versus Liverpool prediction. It depends how strong Arne goes. And I think he will go strong because of the Plymouth game is the one afterwards. So I think if I'm Arne, I'm going first team, strong as I can against Spurs, mix it up a lot for the game against Plymouth, and then back to strong again, midweek game against Everton. That would be my thinking. So the two next midweek games would be my priority, and that's where I'd be sticking in the top boys. That's what I do anyway. I don't know if people agree or not. Harry again, mate, thank you so much, mate. This is very kind of you. What do you think about Paul Ince? I think the fact that neither United or Liverpool fans massively hate him shows how good he was, but would be in your opinion also definite pen, but worth remembering radio commentators don't necessarily get replays. So the radio commentators I wasn't speaking about. I was talking about match of the day pundits and stuff on the pen, and just Arsenal fans being deluded. Paul Ince was a wonderful footballer, no denying that. Anyone that calls himself the governor though needs a check. Needs a check. I don't. But a great footballer, a great footballer, Paul Ince. I wouldn't say otherwise. He was. I'd rather he didn't play for Liverpool, if I'm being entirely honest with you. But I've no issues with Paul Ince. I'd have more issues with Tom Ince and that whole debacle at Liverpool, to be honest with you. That was weird for me again, him looking to kind of force his way out like that and not pay his dues pretty much. Phil said you're a top man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Do you think we have a chance at the quadruple? I never realistically think, even in the seasons where we were in all of them, you won't see me really talking about a quadruple. There's a reason it hasn't been done. It's near on impossible. Between the mental fatigue, the luck that you're going to need as well to go all the way through these competitions, particularly the knockout ones. I'm not thinking quadruples, not at all. I'm thinking Premier League and a League Cup would be an amazing season. And if you offered me that right now, I'd bite your hand off for it. And I would argue if anybody said they wouldn't, like, to deliver that Prem in the first season with a League Cup in a double, I'd take that. Absolutely take that right now. Listening to pundits, thank you Sugar Saint by the way, listening to pundits claiming the likes of Rio is better than VVD, randomly I looked up their retrospective stats only to find a chasm between VVD and his rivals. Well look, I went to watch Man United once because a load of my family are United fans, and there was a really cheap day trip on, and we went on basically a booze cruise job, and we went over to watch them, and it was I think it was the quarter-final second leg of the League Cup against Blackburn, and what struck me in that match was Rio Ferdinand and Wayne Rooney, a class above, and I left that game with a huge appreciation for how good both of those guys were. because Wayne Rooney worked his ass off and was everywhere, and Rio Ferdinand was a Rolls Royce. It was like watching Virgil van Dijk now. So you'll always hear me call Rio Ferdinand out as being a bit of a dope on his takes on stuff, but my God, was he a good footballer. I think United's best defender in my lifetime. Some may say Vidic, some may say, I don't know, whoever else. But Rio Ferdinand was an incredibly good footballer, and probably a fair comparison with VVD in my opinion, because I think he's brilliant, or was brilliant. You seem in a better place tonight, said Craig Adams. I am. Absolutely am, mate. I had it's been very helpful to me kind of having a bit of downtime over the last few days, and it made me realise how much I needed it and how much I needed to just get out of my own head and stop taking everything so seriously and letting it get to me. So yeah, thank you, man. I am in a bit of a better place, and I appreciate you. Nick Kingdom. Hey Craig, love your show. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you. Now look, before I finish your super chat, Nick, which I will, don't worry. Little look at the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, we're closing in. We're now 2,811 subscribers away from an incredible 300,000. So if you can, hit that subscribe button for us. And if you haven't dropped a like on the stream, please do. Nick said, love your show, thank you. Always try to tune in. We need to win as much as possible, especially with Arna's first season. Arsenal do not scare me. They will self-implode up the pool. I just like to put myself in an Arsenal fan's shoes in these moments. And I know if I was in their shoes, I remember it. I remember every weekend feeling so bitter, sad, frustrated that Manchester City just feckin' grounded out week after week when we were chasing them. And it was heartbreaking stuff, and it was soul destroying, and the pressure that were on our players every week, it takes its toll. And I think it's going to take its toll on Arsenal. And I think they've just left themselves too much work. That little shitty start to the season they had, that's cost them a potential league title this season for me. Next season, Arsenal will be right there. They may win it. Who knows? So when I done tonight's stream, and yeah, it was a bit of a tongue-in-cheek title, but I wanted to give Arsenal the respect as well, because I said this all the way through. I respect Arsenal as a club. I don't respect a lot of their fans who are acting like arseholes, but I respect them. They've done it the right way. They've built the team with a good manager, improved season on season, and a league title probably is in their future. But I really just don't think it's in their immediate future, not this season. And if they do win it, like I've said all the way through, I promise you I'll be on here and congratulate them, because they're a good club. Charlie. Oh, is that not working? Oh, it's the first time that's happened in a while. 1 second. Sorry, usually my back-end system didn't work there for a second. No, it's not working. 1 sec. Why is that not working? Sorry, Matt. I'm just trying to refresh my chat here in the back-end system, the one that allows me to bring up the comments on screen. 1 second. Yeah, it's not working for me at the minute here. Let's go back up. Yeah, it's just not working for me. Sorry, I'm going to read them out anyway, sorry. So Charlie said, prediction, Liverpool 2, Spurs 0. 2-1, semi-final prediction overall. Squeaky Clean said, who makes Champions League quarters and semis in your opinion? Again, it's really hard to gauge that, mate, without seeing how the draw fully pans out. So, yeah, truth is I don't know until I see... Fucking hell, this is not even me. Until I see the draw, I don't know. I think we'll go far, though. What else we got? Sorry, I'm just having a bit of issue with the back end chat here, and I'm just trying to refresh it, and I'm not trying to ignore the chat. Apologies. Any Trent news? No. So it looks like it's his quad. And Physio Scout, we're talking 2 to 6 weeks if it's an actual strain. Or it could just be a week or two if he's just in pain. So I think maybe for Trent, coincidentally, this could have happened at the right time. As in, we've no league game now for 10 days. So it might give him a chance to get a break. Put Bradley in for the League Cup. Then you've got Plymouth in the FA Cup. And hopefully the scan shows up that it's just pain. Because Arna said that Trent just said he felt something. He didn't really even know too much about what was actually the level of the discomfort or the pain. Company's World against Leicester still haunts me. Love the show, Craig. Man hugs. Oh, that breaks my heart, man. Honestly, when I watch it back time after time, because you'd almost be saying, hit it, go on, hit it. Because he's a centre-back and you're thinking, go on, fucking hit it. And he does, and his top bins. Yeah, I feel that pain still. Do you think it's possible we sign somebody on deadline day? No, not really. Because we do have business to conduct with regards to outgoings. Hey, there we go. Is it working again? Nice. Thank you, Connor, who's I think's fixed that in the background for me. Jules 1, Rio 664, VVD 1,623 in 270 in fewer games. Oh, dude, I'm not going to lie. That's a delicious set of numbers there. Thank you. Rio 764, VVD 1,600. I'm going to go 72 because it couldn't be 16,723. You've thrown an extra number in. 1623 you've said. That's incredible, yeah. That's a really interesting set of numbers, man. Thanks for sharing those. Enough about your back end. Do you see FB messages? Facebook? No, I don't go near Facebook, mate. I don't run any of the Anfield Agenda social media accounts. I don't even have access to them. And it's designed that way. So, you know. No, it's back failing again. Sorry. Yeah, it's still failing. Just going to send him a message. I'm not sure if you did something on that, but it still seems to be not really working. No, I don't run any of our social media accounts. There it is. This fucking thing, man. Sorry, I'm going to try something else here, folks. Bear with me. See if this works. One sec. Yeah, I've got it fixed now. Cool. Cheers, Connor. Just re-signed in and it's working there. Sorry, folks. Just a bit of back and forth in the back of the chat. Yeah, I don't run any of our social media, mate. So if you see Anfield Agenda posting on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, it's not me. I don't have access to any of them. I stay away from them. Now, there are occasions where I do ask Connor to post something. So, like today, as an example, AFTV posted something like Arsenal can win the league. That was a statement performance. Something like that. And I said, well, go on, Connor, post can, but won't. So, yeah, sometimes my hand is in there, but I don't read any of the comments rotten. Corbin, how are you, bro? I would drive Skelly and Winieri to Liverpool. Yeah, they're quality players. Lewis Skelly today really did stand out as a really, really top young player. Absolutely. What is he, 18? That's ridiculous. You know, do you know what really impressed me? Do you remember the run that he went through where he held off Haaland as well on his way barging through? It's just very impressive. He just reminds me of all the greats that have come through. And I think, Arsenal fans have a habit of overhyping a lot of young players, but I think on this one, they're right. He's a good player. Oh, John's got jokes. Oh, John, you're so funny. John. Arsenal living rent-free in your head. Mate, you never fucking shut up about us. Every time you fucking pick a pube out of your arsehole, you're talking about Liverpool. We're coming for you. Robbing our songs. Fucking playing cringy ass Kendrick Lamar songs after you've won a nothing game against Man City. And you're talking about us being obsessed. All I've done is congratulate you for coming second, like a sporting good man. Mate, you and the rest of that fucking fan base are an absolute laughing stock. So, thanks for the money, but, mate, that's weird. Do you not get how odd that is? Like, it's not even funny. It's shit banter as well. But that's all you guys have. Just go rob another song from another... Do you know what you can't sing, though, John? You can't sing the "We've conquered all of Europe" part for LA because, well, John. You know. 6 of them, by the way. Maybe 7 this year, but, Could never be us, John. Could never be us. Says the Arsenal fan on a red channel. And this is it, man. This is what I say all the time. They don't get the irony of the shit that they post. Like, I'm in here minding my own business, congratulating Arsenal on a good result and finishing second, and I have people like John that are so eager to talk to me that he spends his hard-earned money to do it. So, John, if you want an autograph, signed boxer shorts, anything like that, let me know, dude. It'd be my pleasure. I'll send them over to you. Registered post as well to make sure I lock in the freshness when you give a good sniff of me boxers. It's on me, mate. I'm a giver. Oh. Right. Signed boxers is diabolical. It's even fucking worse when you see the state of my boxers, mate. Oh, yeah. You think it's bad now. If there was a scratch and sniff, they'd be bad. TT Tiger said, "Hey guys, I wanted to ask if you know anything inside the market or contracts. So I don't think I know anything. I no idea, mate. I'd be confident we get something done for Virgil and Mo, but my honest guess, and of course it is a guess, I think Trent goes. I hope he doesn't, but I think he does. And I think Virgil and Mo get sorted. I think Virgil gets done quicker, and I think Mo maybe is a little bit too close for comfort for us than we would have liked, but I do think, optimistically, I hope it gets done, but I don't know anything for certain, mate, no. At least we can be fair sportsmen and say fair play to United and Arsenal if they deservedly won a title, but this is our year to win the league. And that's been it. These arseholes, like John, the Craig Curious Arsenal fan, and any other Arsenal fans, have constantly tried to undermine our title and call it a COVID title, have begged for the league to be stopped, have only shown themselves to be absolute laughingstocks and the most unsportsmanlike, cringy arse fan base, and then they expect us to not laugh at them. They have the sense of entitlement of a club that have won everything. Like, they have Real Madrid levels and they've won nothing. It's very weird. They need to just know their place for the minute, shut the fuck up, and if you win a league title, have your moment. Have your moment. Enjoy it. But I promise you won't see Liverpool fans on there trying to undermine your league title with your PGMOL league title. Just say you're a better team. Just fucking say it. You know? No one's going to come in the middle of the night and kidnap you and pull you in front of other Arsenal fans and go, how dare you? That's not on the agenda. We're supposed to be ridiculing Liverpool. Who the fuck do you think you are? Do you know what I mean? Get over it. It's weird. There's not an ounce of sporting integrity between them. Like, it's weird. Just say, when we win the league, well done, you deserve to win the league. And then, when you win it, because I do think you'll win it in the years to come, you'll get that back. But showing your lack of class now is only And you can pretend it's all that we don't care that everybody hates us bullshit, but you're dying to be relevant. Because you've had a hard few years where you've been in the wilderness, Europa Leagues, not doing anything. You know, you won Charity Shield and an FA Cup win and going around now thinking you fucking walk into European League. Just slow your roll. You know, earn it. And then we'll talk. What team is better, this year's title winning team or the 1921? I think we played better football in 1920, if I'm being honest with you. But I think this team has a more calculated feel to it. And I think a good example of that was the game yesterday. 1-0 up, 5 minutes of stoppage time added on at the end of the game. And I didn't notice this until it was pointed out by one of the media. But Arne telling the players to calm down, keep possession, no giving the ball away, see it out to half time, keep the ball, move the ball, you know, simple things. Perfect. Get into half time, we'll adjust it, but nothing silly. That's what has been lacking for me in years gone past at times. We've been a bit too gung-ho on occasion. And Arne, I feel like, manages games and moments a little bit differently, and that's why I've so much confidence that we're not going to see a fall away like we've seen before. And that's not a knock at Jurgen, by the way. Jurgen had his way of playing, we all enjoyed it. Hell, it's given me some of the best nights of my life as a Liverpool fan. But Arne's measured approach, I think, is what's needed at the moment with the situation we're in, and even if it's just conserving energy in moments as well, I think that will stand us in good stead as the campaign comes to its conclusion. Like, I find it hilarious Arsenal fans going on about us and the PGMOL title when I absolutely despise the PGMOL, and most Liverpool fans I know have in no way felt like the PGMOL have been good to us. Go back to last season, Arsenal fans. Let me give you 3 moments from last season where we came up short. 3 moments. Spurs away, when they were top of the league and everybody was giving them praise. We go there and we've seen a robbery the likes of which the Premier League have never seen. We've seen a perfectly valid goal ruled off and the 2 biggest horseshit red cards you've ever seen in your life. And we lose that game to an OG at the end of the game and we move on. So that's 1. Then we play Arsenal at Anfield. And Martin Odegaard turns into LeBron James and starts bouncing the ball around with his arm in the penalty area. And for some reason, that wasn't given as a penalty, nor was the referee sent to the monitor for one of the most blatant wrapping his arm around and pulling the ball towards him handballs. Nothing given, no penalty, nothing. Manchester City then come to Anfield. And the Premier League use the Jeremy Doku challenge on Alexis McAllister as an example of a high-footed challenge. No penalty, referee not sent to the monitor. So how exactly do the PGMOL want us to win the league? You absolute clowns. I've given you 3 examples in 3 massive games, which at the time were all title contender games, and we were fucked over in every single one of them. And I'm supposed to feel like the PGMOL are helping me. Just own up to your own fucking deficiencies. And stop cry arson. You won't win the league title because you don't deserve the league title this year. That's it. Not because of the PGMOL or anybody else. If anybody feels hard done by the PGMOL and league title races, I think we have every reason to feel that way. You're welcome. And that's undebatable. 3 big games. All of them against teams who were first, second, or in a title race at the time. And we were fucking shafted in every single one of them. Corbin said, when we win the Prem, I hope we don't get to drop off like we've seen in previous seasons. That's why a good summer's crucial. So that will be my fear, mate, as well. So there's different versions of this season, right? I'm in Discord with lots of different Reds who have different takes. Some of them feel like, just give us the league title this season or whatever, and then we'll figure it out from there. Whatever happens with the contract or whatever, just get the league title done, and then we'll see. But I'm like you, mate. The idea of us maybe winning a league title and then losing some of the players whose contracts are up and hoping for young players to come in and get to the level immediately that we're back challenging for league titles worries me. If we get the contracts tied down, bring on the summer. I'm absolutely much calmer about it, because for me, the importance of getting these contracts renewed, and Trent's an anomaly because we can't control that. I know if the club come to Mohamed Salah and Virgil right now, they'll sign if the numbers are reasonable. You know that, I know that, but we don't know what's going on with Trent. But what I think makes this so important is, if these boys don't sign on, we've no time to succession plan. None. But if we do extend Mo and Virgil, even if they don't see out the full length of these new contracts, it buys the club time to properly succession plan. Whether that's bringing players in now with a view to them becoming Van Dijk in 2 years, it just gives us more wiggle room and less pressure on these guys having to come in and do it like that. You can't buy experience, and I think we need the changeover period, and it needs to be a couple of seasons, and it needs to make sure that we get these contracts sorted out. So that's my fear, is that we do win it, and then, as you say, we don't get the contract renewals. We get young players coming in who could very well become great players, but the odds of them doing it right then and there next season, that seems a bit far-fetched to me. Houlden said, if Salah wants 500 grand a week for 2 years, it's a no for me. What if he wants £2 a week? Because we can both equally just make up numbers that nobody knows are true. You know, you're talking about a hypothetical there that is nothing but a hypothetical. We don't know what his number is. We don't know what the offer is. All we know as fans is what we're seeing week in and week out. That the players are showing up, playing well, and earning a new contract. And that's the key for me here, my friend. They're earning the new contract. Because these same players have come in after heartbreak last season and are currently sitting on top of the Premier League. And Mohamed Salah is putting up his best numbers of assists ever. He's nearly equal with his best goals per game average ever at the age he's at. And Virgil has come back from an ACL and shown without doubt that he's playing brilliantly. And they're earning these contracts. And that's why I'm so wound up about it. Because they can't prove what they're going to do in 2 years now. It's impossible. So just get it done. Just get it done and give these lads their contracts. Everton are more creative with Moyes. It could be good or bad for us. By the way, about being robbed last season, let's remember the early kickoffs. Oh yeah, sorry Giannis. Yeah. Forgot about them. Where we've had more of them than any other team in the Premier League as well. So yeah, forgot about that, mate. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just scanning through some comments. How do I buy your new Where's the Money John hoodie? We haven't made them yet. We haven't designed them yet. We're still talking about when we're going to put them out. T-shirts, I think, will be the first thing. What do you think FSG have offered Trent, Salah and VVD? I don't know what you mean by that. Do you think FSG have offered... They've all been offered contracts. I don't think there's anybody debating that. It's just, are the contracts a laughing stock? Or are they the club's best offers? We don't know that. You know, all we know is that there's contract offers with them. Now, obviously, the players aren't signing them because they've been with them for a long time and clearly they don't feel that they're at the level required. That's all we know. But what we do know is it's going on too long. And I'd just like a definitive decision one way or the other. If that decision is we're moving on from these guys at the end of the season, then let us know that. So we can enjoy whatever we have left with Mo or Virgil or Trent. That's what I want. I just want clarity. So to know if we're going to build up next season. Like, imagine how bad it would be if the lads won the league title or whatever and they didn't get an individual farewell and they moved on, or the contracts weren't renewed, it would just feel wrong on so many levels. I wonder what Salah was on. 250, 300 grand a week. White hoodie was nice with Liverpool. Thank you. I got it from Threads for Reds. Not sure if they still sell them or not, but that's where I bought that hoodie from. Salah's on 350 that we're aware of, plus bonuses. But I've no idea what the offer is that's been put to him. I've heard a number, but I can't say if it's legitimate or not, because, you know, I'm not in that room. But I did hear a number. And if the number I heard is right, I wouldn't sign it if I was him. But again, I can't sit here and tell you I know it's right or not. Gerard said, you're spot on as always. I would definitely be concerned if Virgil and Salah are not here next year, but I do have faith, think that these two will be here. And that's it for me. Succession plan properly with these boys. Because yeah, they're going to have to go someday. You know, Father Time's unbeaten. But I do think that we haven't done the succession planning yet. So we need to buy that time as a club. And I do think that the two gentlemen whose age is the concern have both shown that they're deserving of more time. And especially when one of them is our captain. You know, and then you've got the other one who's rewriting the history books again. Liverpool don't deserve the league title. They couldn't even beat Arsenal or Forest this season. Right, Gimpy. David. I'm not sure if you're just willfully dumb or if it's just something you can't control. But either way, Liverpool don't deserve the league title. They haven't beaten Arsenal. Cool. Have Arsenal beaten Liverpool in the league this year? No? Fuck, so they don't deserve it either then, right? So nobody's winning the league title. Shit. That's... we'll just have to void the whole fucking league, David, won't we? Because, you know, Arsenal haven't beaten us either. So that's weird. It's almost as if you're talking out your hoop. And that's not the way football works, for fuck's sake. I should get some type of a bursary or something, for some type of an educational honorary degree or something for having to put up with this nonsense. I don't know, I should be a professor or something. Some fucking... England, you owe me, is what I'm saying here. Like, the amount of these Cabbage Patch Kids that I have to listen to who come up with the most insane tinfoil hat wearing bullshit. Oh, fuck me. Are you allowed to drive? Like, please. You're not, right? Like, please. Fuck me. You haven't voted, have you? John, I'm not bringing up your stupid super chats anymore, mate. And yeah, I offered to send you my boxers because you're clearly Craig Curious, John. I'm trying to help you, bro. I don't get the narkiness. If you don't want the boxers, John, socks are on offer as well, you know. So if you want a picture of a European Cup, I have one over there, mate. I can send you a picture of me holding it. Just so you can see what it looks like, you know, somebody holding the European Cup. No problem, John. I'm here for you, bro. But thanks for making me smile, John. I mean, I was coming into tonight not knowing what to expect, but job done. Mission accomplished, I think, is put the banner up behind me. We've done it. Mission accomplished. 10 quid from John for... You've definitely covered the boxer shorts anyway, John, so, you know, the postage is paid for. Arsenal, belief, berating a broken Man City team, they're going to win it. All they've done is pick up 3 points. That's the long and short of it. You know, we've both gone into the league this weekend. We've both won. We've both picked up 3 points and nothing's changed. That's it. Both sets of fans this week, by the way, went into this weekend praying the other one dropped points. I'll admit that. I went into this one thinking, beat Bournemouth, which is going to be tough, and then hope Arsenal drop points and get that bit of more breathing room and you can really start to celebrate. But didn't come up for either of us this weekend. We both won our games. Neither side dropped points. It's as we were. We go into another week. But for us, it's also 1 week closer to the end of the season and 1 week less that Arsenal have a chance to gain points on us or for us to have a wobble. So, you know, all these weeks are being ticked off one after another and Arsenal aren't gaining ground. Week after week, game after game, not doing it. Hey Craig, where's the sick new Liverpool hoodie? Man, I've had that hoodie for about 2 years. 18 months, 2 years. My dumb ass forgot it was in the wardrobe. So yeah, it's folded over there on a chair beside me actually. How much would you offer Trent, Mo and VVD if you were Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards? Really good question, Ewan. Right, so I would probably offer them all. Offer the two, Virgil and Mo, I'd offer them the same money they're on. And I'd extend it for 2 years and I'd give them an option of a third year. And put in, obviously, bonuses for titles, Champions Leagues or whatever. Like, I'm sure is in there. But I wouldn't be giving them pay rises. But I wouldn't be giving them pay cuts. Same contract, 2 more years. Maybe 3% for inflation or 5% or something small like that. But ultimately, pretty much the same money. And for Trent, 250 has been my number for Trent. Because he's already on a high wage. This is the peak years of his career he's coming into now. He is a local boy and that does hold a bit more weight for me in these things as well, rightly or wrongly. So I think 250 for Trent would be more than enough for a right back to be earning. And the two boys on what they're already on. Why not a pay rise for Verge? I look at it this way, right? A pay rise means you should be improving. And I think that Mohamed Salah and Virgil have not improved, not gotten worse much, but you get a pay rise for being better, for improving. And I think their best days are behind them. So I don't think incentivising them with a pay rise, other than maybe an inflationary one, is the right move. That's why. Because they're not getting better. You know, you can make an argument that a player who's 26, 27, going into the prime of their careers, these guys have had the prime of their careers, and now they're at the tail end of it, and they're still playing really well, and they're still contributing really well, and that's why I keep them where they're at. Where are my trophies disappeared? Yeah, where are my trophies disappeared? Connor, any idea where the trophies have gone from the studio? That is very weird. Yeah, they've just disappeared. You're right. I never even noticed that. Jacko says, not sure how true this is, but the articles I read suggest Trent wants to be on the same wages as VVD and Salah. But VVD and Salah aren't on the same wages. So I don't understand how that's possible. But, sorry, to get back to the point, I don't think he deserves to be. On Salah's money. VVD's money, 250 would put him there. So, I'd be okay with that one. But, did we start the stream with these trophies, lads? I'm losing the plot. Yeah, they weren't there at the start of the stream anyway. We've all just realised that one. Mark messaged me, Connor messaged me, yeah. We must have done something in the back end to be there for the next stream, don't worry, yeah, sorry. Good spot though, because I didn't spot that. So well played. Yeah, well done. Fair point as well. Jacko, I don't think he deserves to be on the type of money Salah's on, because he's a right back. You know, it's that simple for me. He's a right back. Right backs don't get paid Mohamed Salah money. What's ridiculous is Kelleher on 10 grand a week. I'll go a bit further than that, Robbie. I think Adrian was on like 60. That got me, man. When Kelleher was on 10, he was on about 60, and Kelleher was miles better. That was mental. Football and Cartoon Fanatic said Van Dijk and Salah will renew while Trent will go. I think Trent goes, but I don't know that for a fact. It's just guesswork, but I think he goes. Can Steph have a compilation of your insults? You know what's mad, Adam, right? I don't start any of this shit. You know, I don't come on here to insult anybody. I'm just better at it than most people when they try to have a pop at me. But I don't, my intent is to come in and show love and be happy and interact and have a laugh and wish people well. But you know, I can only react to what comes in. And if somebody like John the Boxer Sniffer, sorry John, I'm joking bro, I'm joking, that's on me. That was a cheap shot, John. But the offer's still there. When people come in to try and bait me or have a pop at me, then I respond accordingly. I've always said it. Come into my channel and show love, you'll get love back. Come in and be an asshole, and I'll be a bigger asshole. Pancakes. Steven said, what's your percentage of the 3 players staying? Virgil 90, Salah 80, Trent 60-40 against for me on Trent. Yeah. I think Virgil, I would be astonished if he doesn't stay. Salah, don't know, but feel optimistic. Trent, just can't get a read on it. And also that offer that came in from Madrid for Trent makes me feel like that's probably the biggest indication of where his head's at. Because I don't think Madrid make that offer without having had some conversations with Trent's camp, or at least knowing there's a potential willingness to move there. So that offer to me, whilst it was an insulting offer that Liverpool, turned their noses up at, it just made me feel like, I don't know, is his head there already? 2 lads not walking around behind you. No, that was intentional. I asked Connor to remove that. So that was definitely intentional. I found it distracting. I'd be doing an interview or something on StreamYard, and I'd have a condensed version of my screen, and I'd be talking to Mo Chathra about finances and the in-depth nature of them, and then me and Newlon are like, woohoo, party, behind, and it was a little bit distracting. So yeah, that was on me. And by the way, whatever put downs you think I use on here, my wife gets the worst ones. I promise you. My wife gets the whole your ma stuff over and over again. And she says to me, I respond with your ma. She said to me, I filled that hole earlier. And I said, I filled your ma. I'm not even joking. A little bit of filler on a skirting board that Sabrina bought a little yoke to rub on. And that's the level of my relationship with my wife. Anything she says to me, my answer is, your ma, blah, blah, blah. So, and I don't even think, it just comes out of my head, like it's just like a reflex. Oh, and that one earlier, that one earlier on had me even cringing. Like I was like, oh, what did I just say? For the love of God! Honestly, if you could put a GoPro on me for the day where I go around my house singing. Like, I sat in the kitchen last night for 10 minutes with Harvey, my dog, talking about Arsenal in the kitchen to the dog. And we both agreed that they were a laughing stock. But yeah, that's just me. That's just the way I am. I can't not be a big child. I can't take it seriously. It's so pathetic, I know. Like, nobody's more ashamed of this crap than me, but it's just the way I am. I genuinely dislike Arsenal more than City, said A. Dot. See, I don't have any bad feeling towards Arsenal as a club at all. And I didn't have any bad feeling really towards their fan base so much until this season particularly, where I think they've just gotten to another level of mad, to be quite frank. Like, you know, United fans, some people felt they were arrogant, but they'd earned some arrogance, right? You know, the Fergie era, they earned that arrogance. People felt Liverpool fans maybe a bit arrogant back in the days when we were winning league titles, and again, that was earned. Arsenal coming in giving a Billy Big Bollocks when they've won an FA Cup in 6 years. And at any other club, their manager would be looking at the sack if he doesn't deliver a league title with all the money spent, £100 million midfielders. So, yeah, the whole thing for me just feels like I don't know where they get that arrogance from, because it's completely not earned. And when you've seen them all asking for the league to be null and void, is like, what type of tin pot nonsense was that? Just because we were winning it. And that's the weird part of it all. There's just no sporting credit to any of them. Like, Lee Gunner aside, by the way. And when I talk about Arsenal fans, I'm not including Lee Gunner, because Lee's the most down-to-earth, realistic Arsenal fan I think I've met. So yeah, definitely not talking about my mate Lee when I'm talking about Arsenal fans, but you know what I'm talking about. These absolute deluded clowns who just never shut up banging on about everything being deserved. Oh, is my wife in the chat? Oh shit, I'm in trouble now. You're lucky my foot's asleep and I can't move. Your ma can't move. Arsenal and second worst fan base. United is number one. The thing is, United aren't winning, but once they get their time again, hopefully in the very distant future, they'll show how toxic they are. So, do you know what's mad though? And people have a go at me for this. Here it is. Yeah, your foot's awake now, but you're so small your foot couldn't reach my arse. Do you want me to get you a stepladder? Sabrina, could you root out a good pair of boxers out of the wash? Good pair. Give them a good sniff. Make sure there's loads of skid marks on them. John's waiting. Just waiting for his address now. Yeah, John, Arsenal fan, big fan. Just wants a pair of pre-worn boxers. The good ones. No, the ones with the holes in the crotch. Them ones. Yeah, the good ones. Send them John's way. Registered post, I promised them, because you sent two super chats. You're right. They should be burned after they've been worn. You're right. Right. So was as I was gonna say before the witch came in the door. Loads of people have a go at me for saying this, but genuinely, I love a title race with us in United. I haven't had that in my lifetime. And we've had title races with City, and I don't give a damn about them, and I don't respect them, and I just despise them. We're having a title race with Arsenal, and bless them, you know. But yeah, I'd love a title race with United. I haven't had one. And of course, you don't want to be on the losing side of that title race, because that's pain that is immeasurable. But God, I'd love to have a title race. Imagine that for England, for football. Liverpool and United, head to head, at the top of a Premier League table. That, I think, would be box office. And it's mad to me that we haven't had that. Just me thinking what planet Nev was on. Rice man of the match. I didn't really pay too much attention to whether Rice deserved man of the match or not. I thought it was just a good win for Arsenal, and you know, do you know what? To be fair, I thought Declan Rice spoke very well in his post-match interview. I thought he was far more measured than the Arsenal fan base. Gave credit to Liverpool. Spoke about having to keep improving. I thought he said all the right things. I thought it was a very balanced interview from Declan Rice after the game. The fan base could learn a bit there. Yanis said all the United are is two managers, otherwise shite. Well, the gloves are out. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to record the news video with the transfer talk and a few other bits. So it'll be out by 10 o'clock. So keep an eye out for it in the next few minutes. If you can drop a like for me before you head off, please do. Be lovely to get towards 1,000 likes. And it only takes a second, but it would mean a lot to us. And of course, thank you to everyone that joined us tonight. If you haven't dropped a like, hit the subscribe button, please do. I don't know whether I'll stream or not tomorrow, to be honest, because it feels like a really counterproductive streaming on transfer deadline day when we know we're not going to do that. And so, you know, we'll play it by ear. But thank you again. Fun stream tonight, and well played everybody who came in, had a joke and a laugh with us. Appreciate you all. Wish you nothing but happiness, and I'll talk to you soon. Much